Welcome back to the game room. I know it's been a while. Life got a little busy. Work, PC decided to fry itself. Fourth baby showed up. But today I'm sitting back here behind my desk because I've had this video on my mind for the past 4 or 5 months and wanted to get it out in January, but now I'm 4 months behind. So here it is. This video is going to be about my top games of 2025. Now, those of you who know the channel, I do a great backlog challenge where I go through all of my 2,000 plus games, and I've really just touched the surface, right? So while I'm doing that, of course, I'm still playing new games. Anything new on PS5, Switch, things like that. That's what I'm going to bring to this type of video, and I plan on doing this at least once a year. In 2025, I played 9 games in total. Well, it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but I can't quite play games like I used to. Honestly though, every single one of them deserve a place on the shelf. Especially since there's only one game on the shelf so far. So without further ado, I'm going to count down from my least favorite game to my favorite game of 2025. Starting with number 10, Forspoken. Forspoken is one of those games where you can see the potential the whole time you're playing it. The world is beautiful, the magic system looks great in motion, and there are moments where you feel like, okay, this could really go somewhere, you know? But the story ends up feeling like something I've already heard dozens of times, and the gameplay loop gets repetitive fast. It's not a bad experience, it's just not a memorable one. So, while I'm glad I played it, and my daughter loved it, it lands at number 10 because it never really earned a permanent spot on the shelf and probably end up falling off pretty soon.
Oh, isn't this touching? A mother tries to save her child.
Mother? Oh, shit.
Next up, number 9 is High on Life.
So, I guess... Holy shit! Oh, what the fuck? Get down and stay quiet. I knew aliens were real.
High on Life is basically a comedy show disguised as a shooter. The humor hits, the characters are ridiculous, and the world is fun to explore. For a while. But once the jokes settle and the shock value kind of fades away, the gameplay doesn't really step up and keep things interesting. There's a few spots in there where, you know, it's a little fun nod to the player and they go a little bit further than expected. But I mean, overall, it's a good time, and I'm glad I experienced the weirdness of it. But it's not something I see myself coming back to. It earns number 9 because it made me laugh a couple times, but the gameplay was kinda meh.
Gee, I really thought you were gonna flake on me, thank you.
Nah, fuck you! Change your mind right now! Pick me instead! This is insane! I am so much hotter!
You need to chill out, alright? They picked me, and that's final. That's a final pick. If you want to throw a fit, do it on your own time. Just let me have this one time, man. Hey, thanks for being honest. Look, don't tell anyone, but you can go through my door anytime you want from now on. Our little secret. Free passage in and out of the slums.
Wow, thank you. You have no idea how helpful that is.
Well, my door's locked forever. You made an enemy today. You're never ever gonna get to use my door.
Well, you know what? That's fine, because we have this other door that works just as well. I think we handled that as best we could, you know?
At number 8 comes the Stanley Parable Deluxe Edition, or Ultra Deluxe.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. He had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is one of the smartest games I've played. And I mean, it knows it. The writing is sharp, the meta commentary is really good, and the new content from the Ultra Deluxe just kind of builds even more on that like meta gameplay. But at the end of the day, it's one of those experiences you have once. I actually ran through it twice. Probably knocking you out like 4 maybe 5 of the endings out. I didn't count some of those endings as a playthrough because they were very quick. And when you're done, you're done. You can only fall down a never-ending well so many times. It doesn't linger, you know, and don't really have the need to really go back to it. Maybe in a couple years. So while I really like this game, and it's the smartest game I've played since Portal, I think it's pretty comfortable at number 8.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Alright, so number 7 will be where Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach lands on the list. Now, of course, if you want to see what my thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, definitely go check out my Five Nights at Freddy's video. That was actually the first Great Backlog Challenge video that kicked it all off. Come to think of it, that's the only one I've put out so far. But more to come soon for sure. But yeah, overall, it just doesn't have the polish or emotional impact that any of these ones that are, top tier, 3, 4, and 5 kind of give, right? But yeah, definitely go check out the Great Backlog Challenge FNAF video.
Looking for you. Are you lost?
At number 6, we have Doki Doki Literature Club. Doki Doki Literature Club is not one of those games that I normally would ever pick up. Not a big fan of the, interactive novel type experience. Just not normally for me, but right there on the back, that's why I picked it up. Number 1 psychological horror. Would I call it a number 1 psychological horror? No, I wouldn't. But still really neat. It plays into the whole interactive novel bit, along with kind of like the idea of one of the girls becoming sentient and taking over your system and stuff like that. Pretty neat. Overall, it was a really good game. Definitely one of those that, like, my daughter was watching me play for a second, and then I had to tell her, get out of the room. because there's some disturbing stuff that happens for sure. But overall, it sits at 6 because really anything under 5 is probably going to get taken off of the shelf pretty quick. And while it was a good game, I don't see necessarily coming back to it really ever. At number 5, I have Oxenfree.
I can't even, like, what?
I know. Jonas?
Hello? Dear, tell everyone.
Oxenfree is a really interesting one. So the first time I did a Great Backlog Challenge, I was doing a random generated game. So I would generate what system I would play and then what game from that system I would play. That left some wanting from me because every time I did that, I always found myself wanting to play more of a certain type of genre or a certain game. And I was doing that as a weekly short, so I wasn't really giving myself enough time to play the game through.
Sure. Leave possible.
Well, Oxenfree was an exception, and that's actually one of the reasons why I decided to switch the format of my Great Backlog Challenge. Because I spent 2 weeks on Oxenfree because I just kept going on it after the week was up. This game was crazy nostalgic. It was atmospheric. It had this depth to it that I was not expecting. And this is a Netflix game. I mean, this came out on Netflix, which is crazy whenever I think about that. But basically, it's a point-and-click game, much like I don't know, Legend of Kyrandia, which is my #1 game of all time from the old PC days. I know a lot of people think of Monkey Island and stuff like that. Well, I didn't have that. I had Legend of Kyrandia, and that one just brings back some memories. So, whenever you talk about point and clicks, that's the kind of game I equate it to. And man, like finding items, going around talking to different people, kind of being able to sway your outcome based on who you tell what and kind of how you act towards people. And then the second playthrough with the time loop mechanic where everything is affected by the way you played through it the first time. Man, it was just, it's something else, right? It got me to play it. I played this game 3 times in a row. It's not a crazy long game, right? It's just, so it didn't take me a whole lot of time to actually play it those 3 times, but it was really, really good. And from a game that I just was not expecting. One of those times where I was picking up every limited run game that was coming out. This is actually number 10 of This is actually number 10 of the limited run games for Switch that came out. And I was just going to town on those between limited run games and super rare games. I was picking up everything they were putting out for at least a good year or two, and that stopped. Because as anybody who follows the channel knows, I have 2,000 plus games, well 2,250 something now. Well, 250 something of those games are just Switch games. So my Switch collection is probably I think it is the largest collection I have out of all my systems. But this game definitely earns its spot at number 5. And
Wait!
Time out.
Alone.
We are
All
on
the same.
side.
Poor girl.
Joined in.
Always.
This is for my friends.
Malison.
Youth
It
is.
The road of
the middled. We all play.
I
Same
design.
at number 4, I have Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Not just any Kirby in the Forgotten Land, but the Switch 2 edition with the DLC. Now, noting Switch 2, I do have another video coming out today, the same day as this video, and a third video, all dropping at the same time. The second video is going to be on Switch 2 and my madness about deciding whether I should go physical or digital on that system. And then the third one will be Great Backlog Challenge for Adventure Island. So definitely go check those out. Forgotten Land was a great game. It's pure joy from start to finish. Polished, creative, full of charm. The kind of game that reminds you why Nintendo platformers are what they are, you know? This was actually the first Switch 2 game I played. I had it on the original Switch, but never got the chance to play it because my daughter fell in love with it and would not put it down. So whenever I got the Switch 2, and I was stuck between physical or digital, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and play one of those Switch 2 edition games that I already have. That way I don't have to make up my mind yet. So I pulled in Kirby, picked up the DLC, and it didn't disappoint. Definitely the best Kirby game I've ever played. And it's going to be tough to dethrone when I eventually do my Kirby Great Backlog Challenge. At number 3 comes Stellar Blade.
My God.
No. No.
lost life signs. We're the only two left.
Stellar Blade is one of those games that grabs you from the moment you hit new game and just refuses to let go. I was instantly hooked. The world is absolutely gorgeous. Every environment feels handcrafted and intentional. The art direction pulls you in before the story even gets going. The real star here is definitely the gameplay. Smooth, responsive, incredibly fun. Every dodge, parry, combo feels very satisfying in the way it makes you want to keep pushing forward just to get to the next fight. It's the kind of combat system where you tell yourself one more encounter, okay, and then it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And the story isn't the most original thing ever. But the way it's told works. The pacing, the world building, the characters, the mystery behind it. It all comes together in a way that kept me interested from start to finish. It's familiar, but well done. Number 2 goes to the game with my second most playing hours of all time. Now, first most playing hours of all time, even though I don't have it tracked, I'm going to have to give it to Minecraft. I've been playing Minecraft since 2010, on and off at least once a year for, months at a time. And I mean, come on, I just know I have tons of hours there. This one I have a little over 1,000, and it is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now look, I know what you're saying. This game came out in 2020, right? It's not a new game. Why is it on this list? Well, because it's a ritual. It's comfort food for me. I pulled this game out at the beginning of last year and was like, you know what? Let's do a new island. Let's start from scratch. Let's get all the fish. Let's get all the bugs. And let's go through the whole year. And with the Switch 2 edition dropping, I definitely see myself diving back in. Of course, it's warm, it's cozy. It just fits into my life as I pop it in and run about the island a bit, So, yeah. That's why it lands at number 2. It's just one of those games that constantly gets put back into the system. Well, now it's time. Number 1. Go ahead and leave in the comment now what you think my number 1's going to be. It's not going to be hard to guess. Anybody living under a rock has played this game at this point. It is the game of the century. So, without delaying this any longer, number 1 is Expedition 33. Clair Obscure Expedition 33 wasn't just my favorite game of the year. It was the first RPG I've truly fallen in love with since Final Fantasy X. And that's saying something. This game hit me in a way I honestly was not expecting. The art style is stunning. Every frame looks like a painting. Every environment feels alive. And the whole world has this surreal, dreamlike quality that pulls you in before the story even starts to unfold. It's one of those games where you stop moving just to look around at the environment. The gameplay was perfect, smooth, responsive, incredibly satisfying. Every fight feels intentional. Every ability feels meaningful, and the combat system strikes that perfect balance between strategy and style. It's the kind of gameplay loop that makes you think, okay, one more battle, right? And it works that way. But at the same time, if you're not using the right characters, it could get frustrating. And you can have that Souls-like playability to it if you want to. I'm not a Souls game person. I'm not a Souls genre person. Like I just don't like that. I'm not the type of person that likes to hurt myself, right? So I liked how you can play this game smart and it not be difficult because of the way you play the game. The characters you use, and yeah, but let's be real. The reason this game sits at number one is the story. It's one of the most imaginative narratives I've played in a long time. The world building is rich, the characters feel real, and the emotion, man, that emotion hits hard. The end of Act 1, I basically quit for a week. I didn't touch the game for a whole week after Gustav. I was like, fuck this. I'm out. Not because it was bad. It's just like, man, cool. I wasn't ready for it. And then I despised the character after because it's just like, I don't like it. Like why is he a thing now? I don't want to play as him. I don't want to play as him. And then the ending and knowing his backstory and where all that comes, it's like, oh my god. It completely recontextualized everything I thought I knew about the game, and the storyline was just, it's one of the best storylines I've read, watched, or played in any genre of any type of entertainment in a while. Expedition 33 is just the kind of game that stays with you long after the credits roll. I watched all of those credits roll, by the way, and that's rare. For a game to feel this complete and this emotionally powerful, when I look back on 2025, this is the game that stands out above everything else. No contest. When I look back on the last 10 years of gaming, this game stands out, no contest. It earns the number one spot with absolute ease. And those were the games that I played in 2025. Let me know down in the comments what games you played and what were your favorites. And if you played any of these and what your thoughts are on them. Like I said earlier, I have 2 more videos dropping today, which is crazy, right? But trying this whole YouTube reset thing where if you wait a month, and drop a bunch of videos is supposed to spike your views or something like that. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But in a nutshell, I was already 4 months behind before posting this up anyway, so I was like, hey, why not, you know, give it a shot. I got a lot of stuff to say about a lot of different topics. So the other 2 videos going to show up in the title, in the end screen right after this. It's going to be my mental breakdown over physical or digital for Switch 2, and it's going to be my Great Backlog Challenge for Adventure Island. So yeah, check those out, and thanks for hanging out in the game room. Later.